Yeah, it should be live now. So I thought I would go into training mode and look at some more stuff for Banjo and Kazooie. So go ahead and get that started here. I did buy the sand skin off stream. I also bought the Pokemon Trainer skin, so have those now. But I've played a lot of Banjo-Kazooie today, so I figured I would show some of the stuff I learned about them in the stream. So let me just go ahead and get that set up here. But yeah, always usually train against Captain Falcon. He's a pretty good sparring partner due to him fast falling, his size, all that stuff. He's pretty easy to work with combos and things like that. So I thought I would show some of the stuff that I learned while I was off stream, which was for a while, so I have a lot to show. So yeah, I thought that Banjo-Kazooie didn't really have too many spectacular combos. He has like down throw slide special, that's a pretty solid kill confirm, but yeah, outside of that, nothing too great. I thought his recovery wasn't that good. The range was pretty limited, and so I thought he was kind of a middle-of-the-road character. Now I think he's probably upper mid-tier to, like, low-mid-high tier. Or, like, mid to low-high tier, somewhere around there. But yeah, so I guess let me go ahead and show you some of the stuff that I found. So, first, we've got recovery is a lot better than I thought, and it has a lot of mix-up potential as well. It's a lot better than I thought. One bad thing about the recovery is that it requires you to have your feathers. If you want to be able to recover underneath a stage like this, you can't really do that without feathers, as far as I'm aware. You can see, you can make it pretty close, but you just can't make it all the way over there. So, yeah. I also forgot to show off taunts in the last stream. I guess I'll do that now. Kind of in the middle of the screen with zoom on. So, you got up taunt, side taunt, and down taunt. References to the Banjo-Kazooie game, but I haven't played that game, so I really don't know too many of the references. I have seen some gameplay of the first Banjo-Kazooie, but outside of that, I really haven't seen that much. Yeah, recovery is a lot stronger than I thought. This double jump really or like the aerial double jump, so he has 3 jumps basically. But your aerial double jump allows you to have a lot of mix-ups that you should be using. Like, don't just go straight for the ledge like this or something like that. Make sure that you extend yourself as far away from the ledge as possible and then slide special in. If you want to try to slide special in, like if your opponent's trying to edgeguard you, if they're a bit more relaxed or if they're trying to edgeguard you at mid, then maybe go for that. But if they're trying to edgeguard you from the lower area, stuff they're like going down to try and hit you, then I would go for a high to mid recovery using slide special. Your slide special also allows you to edgeguard pretty well. Because a slide special off stage, if you're facing towards the blast zone, you hit your opponent that way. It is very lethal. Not many things can stop it in the air because there's not a lot of grabs that work in the air. Pretty much the only thing you can do is air dodge, and then if you bait out the air dodge, and the Banjo can just like go down and then slide special you from the other side. And slide special actually does more damage than your forward smash. So forward smash doing 19.2, and slide special doing 26.4. Run speed's a lot better than I'd initially thought. You're able to move around the stage pretty, like, averagely, I guess. I thought he was kind of a slower character at first, but he seems pretty average. He's able to move around. His airspeed is a bit slower after you do the jumps and all of that, but it at least allows you to have more control in the air and be able to focus on where your opponent is instead of where you're trying to get to while recovering. So that can allow you to mix up your recovery a lot easier compared to most other characters. And, like, you don't even have to use the golden feather there. Like, you can do something like this as well. Because you can air dodge out of the up special. You have basically 3 jumps, you have and an air dodge in your recovery. So, like, you have all of this stuff that you can use to recover, so you definitely should be mixing up your recovery as this character, because you have so many mix-up options. But try to avoid using the feathers unless you want to waste a few or something like that. Like maybe get down to 2 or 3 and then start saving them for potential kills, or if you're starting to get zoned out. Because if you are starting to get zoned out or outranged, which can happen, then you might be in a bit of trouble. But next thing I wanted to cover on was grenades. I definitely underrated this projectile. It is very strong, to say the least. Like, I basically just use this to zone now, like as Banjo. I consider Banjo to be like a pretty much the exact opposite of Snake. Snake is a zoner with a lot of solid melee options and like close range options, whereas Banjo-Kazooie is a very solid melee or like a rush-on character with very good zoning options, such as your grenades, which have a ton of uses that they probably even haven't been fully discovered yet. But because of the balancing, it's a bit unique, but it does have a pattern, so if you're standing completely still, and if you're moving, it does slightly change. So, like here, let me show you. So that's the standing still pattern. You'll get a short bounce towards Banjo, and then kind of a pretty long bounce towards the middle, and then at the end, just another short bounce right before it detonates. That bring it closer to your opponent. If you jump, the bouncing changes and it will have a lot of long range bounces, and then it will turn short range towards the end. And it does depend on your height as well, so you can like fast fall to mix up the range of the grenades and all this stuff, which is really useful. If you fire a grenade in the air, you can actually just like move backwards slowly, and then like if you're doing something like this, you should be able to grab it pretty quickly, and that's like one of the best ways to grab the grenade, unless you just want to do something like this. I still have a bit of trouble picking up the grenades, but it's just something I'm going to have to get used to. But yeah, that's about the speed which I can get grenades. Dash attack into forward air, it's not true, but it works pretty well, as just like if your opponent jumps, or like if your opponent jumps or air dodges, they're going to avoid it, but if they don't do anything, then you should have enough time to be able to hit them with a forward air. Forward air can also be used to confirm grabs, like this. And then you could potentially get a combo off of it like that. One move I did not use in combos that much was up air. Up air has a lot of combo potential. You can see it just kind of drags directly in front of Banjo and upwards. So you can do up air into up air and zero. Works pretty well. And then a bit later you can do up air into fair, though it's not true again, because fair has a bit of startup to it, so it's just not going to work out perfectly. But it works pretty well for not working out the best. Neutral air is still probably like one of your best throw confirms, because it's really consistent. Like, you can use up air. It works a lot better at zero. But neutral air works at pretty much any percent. It doesn't work better than neutral air at zero. I just mean that it works. Like, the throw actually will happen at zero a lot easier than it will if you're at a higher percent. If your opponent's at any percent, then I would recommend to go for your neutral air. It does occasionally send behind Banjo if you only hit the first hit, but if you hit any other hit and your opponent doesn't DI, then they will be pretty much right next to you, and then you should just be able to grab. Although I would recommend going for the dash grab, regardless of anything, just in case they do DI, because that will cover them unless they go behind you like that. If you only land the first hit, then they will go behind you. But if you land any other hit, then they won't. Another good projectile is this egg launcher. So the first egg has the properties of the down special grenade, except it doesn't have as large of a blast radius, doesn't do that much damage, has less hit stun, and less knockback. But, I mean, like, the launch angle is the same, and it is still a projectile. I believe it is an energy projectile instead of a physical projectile, so it can be absorbed by Ness's down special, for example. But, your down special cannot until it explodes, because it's physical. Like, you can run up and grab it, and things like that. Whereas with this, you can't really grab it or anything. The longer that you have the eggs out, the less damage it will do. You can actually true combo a bit off of the eggs by doing, if you get this strong hit of neutral B, and then you short hop it, directly afterwards, or not short hop it, but you just like jump, then you should be able to land a hit, And then the first hit of the egg can trip. So you can use that to get a grab. If it does trip, although it's pretty rare. Like, that's the second time that I've seen it happen, and I played Banjo pretty much all day. I did play a few games of Sans, but I had pretty much just played Banjo, and that's like the second time. So, and I got in a lot of games today off stream. So, that was pretty much everything that I found combo wise. And then just like a bit neutral wise. So I pretty much just like to I'll show you how I play now actually. So I pretty much just try to zone out opponents rather than get in close. By pretty much just spamming this little egg here. Because the egg has a pretty short timer, it's not going to be active on the field very long, and that will allow your opponents to be able to grab it and then pretty much instantly explode if they grab it, because unless you launch it right next to them and they grab it, then it's going to have already been out for a certain time. And I like to Z-drop it at ledge there, or I also like to do something like that, where it bounces towards the stage, and then it can hit people that are trying to recover directly underneath the stage. Because there are a few recoveries that can, like, push themselves into the stage and then get through. But if you do something like that, then it makes that not work out, unless they can tag. But yeah, I also like to bounce it at the ledge a bit, because it will explode at the ledge and hit your opponent on ledge if you let it bounce like that. You can also just, like, short hop and then get the angle right and everything like that. But yeah, I accidentally threw a forward smash there. I tried to upward air dodge there, but he ended up hitting me right before I grabbed the ledge. I think I was a bit too far away to grab the ledge anyway, so due to how I recovered. But yeah, I'm a bit too close to him, so I'm going to back up a bit and throw this at him. Grabbed it a bit too late, though. And down air does spike. I didn't think that it did spike, but it actually does. And down special to short hop back air works really well. I did back air into down special there, so it didn't work that well. But it seems like if your opponent gets hit by the explosion of this grenade, it has a unique property to where it only affects them. It doesn't affect Banjo. But if Banjo is the only one hit by the explosion, then it will affect. Now, if you're like both right next to the grenade and you get hit at the same time by the explosion, then it will hit you both. But if it hits one person, it will only affect one person. Even if it's like a 1 frame difference, is what I'm thinking. Although I have to test that more. That's just what I've noticed. I'm gonna throw out a side special there. I use my side specials pretty sparingly until my opponent's at a percent where I just kind of want them to die and get a read. Oof. Okay, so got back aired there. The good thing about Captain Falcon in this matchup is because I'm using such a slow projectile that he can just get through pretty easily compared to a lot of other zoners. So, probably should be using Kazooie's neutral special thing a bit more. Did not mean to do that. I keep accidentally doing that. I've done that a lot today, where I've side specialed instead of B reverse down specialed. There, although now I'm out of golden feathers. Okay. Yeah, see, that's the problem with their recovery there. I did end up losing that game because I accidentally inputted that side special whenever I was trying to do down special, so that really threw me off. I could have zoned out Falcon there and would have been a bit better off, and I still would have had a golden feather. But that just happens sometimes. It was my fault, so I'm just going to reset it here. But yeah, as you can see, now I'm playing a bit more aggressively against Falcon. Trying to get something like a slide special out of a down special, which does sometimes work if you land the down special grenade hit. Then you should be able to land it, or land a slide special afterwards if you like short hop and hit them at the mid range, just to make sure that you either hit their feet or if they're at a bit lower of a percent, then you hit them head on pretty much. I also like their up smash a lot. It's really fast, so it allows you to get a lot of punishes. But yeah, Falcon using up tilt there is really smart. We'll say that. Yeah, I need to go back to zoning here. I actually got the idea to zone from a CPU. I just played a level 9 CPU Banjo just to see what its thoughts were, since it plays on like the optimal playstyle of the characters, or supposedly being level 9 CPU. And that's where I got the idea to use projectiles. Like I did a Sans versus Banjo fight off stream. There we go. It's not going to kill, but it's going to do some damage. That has a really nice angle for gimping certain characters, but doesn't work on Falcon if he grabs a ledge like that. So that was my first stock on, so I pretty much won this game. Like, if I lose this game, then I haven't really learned anything as Banjo today. Pretty much what that would mean. Oh, an up tilt has a bit of combo potential on it, but it's not too particularly useful of a move I found in neutral. Because you're zoning out your opponent a lot with the grenades, or at least the way that I'm playing Banjo, I'm zoning out my opponent a lot with grenades. Up tilt is usually just outrange, so not really much point in using it. Missed that angle just a bit. I wanted to try to punish a low recovery, but not too low, just in case he got to mid-range and my grenade missed. Then it would have exploded and had a bit larger of a hitbox, although probably wouldn't have worked out and hit him. I have had that hit a few times, where I try to hit them mid-range, and it isn't important. But yeah, so that's some of the stuff that I found with the character there. Still taking me a while to get used to them. I found them kind of actually pretty difficult to pick up at the beginning, because they get outranged by a lot of characters if you play them more aggressively. So if you like that playstyle like Rushdown, they can play Rushdown. It's just that if you use grenades a lot like what I did and do things like that and just get your damage out in like 30s to 40% just off of a simple like grenade, and then you throw the grenade into an up smash or something like that, then you should be able to get some decent damage output. Or I was going to do... Yeah, I need to stop short hop. There. And that time the grenade bounced them inwards. Oh. I'm just going to let the grenade explode. Yeah, I did it too early. See, you can do something like that just to get up, or just to get some damage out there. Because if you do the grenade hit at 0 like that, then it's going to be pretty weak. But yeah, my opponent's not going to really fight back that much due to them currently being stopped. So that's just kind of some of the stuff that I learned from Banjo. So now on to Sans. Mii Gunner. I haven't actually done any of the Mii guides, but have played a bit of Sans today. I played like 2 games, so not too much, but I just have it on full 1 moveset, so all 4 of the moves are the first selection, so that, this, and then the charge shot, in case you're wondering what the moveset is. But yeah, don't really like Mii Gunner too much. My opinion, they're just a bit too slow to work out for me. Like, a lot of the stuff I try to do, I find myself either getting outranged due to them having pretty strange projectiles, or not really projectiles, but just like a kind of strange moveset, or a lot of stuff just doesn't really do that much knockback, and then they have like really slow frame data and all this kind of stuff that makes it where you can't really like run around characters. You kind of just have to stay still and zone, which I try to play more aggressive zoners, so I'm not too great at doing that. But that seems to be what works well for Sans. I'll have to look more into Sans because I really don't know what kind of moveset is the best for the Mii Gunners or anything like that, as I don't really play the Miis too particularly often, because most of the time I play characters outside of my main group. I either pick them at random, or they're just characters that I like from other games, or I just enjoy their playstyle in Ultimate, so I'll just pick them. But like most of the time I play a character's playstyle I don't enjoy, it's through random. So, or you know what, I'll actually zoom in on this. But yeah, for Sans, I don't, or just Mii Gunners, or Miis in general, really, I don't play them too particularly often due to the Miis not being able to be picked in random. But I have gotten like Side Special into Neutral B to work for them on the 1-1-1 moveset, so I think that the first Side Special could be pretty useful if you're going for a more aggressive type Mii Gunner rather than a zoning type. But that was just some of the stuff that I've found with the new characters. I do plan on playing them a lot more, like this weekend and stuff. But yeah, for now that's all that I've learned. So now I wanted to do something at the end of the stream that I didn't do yesterday because I forgot to and was pretty much out of time as well. And that's to do the classic mode route for Banjo and Kazooie. It just completely slipped my mind, so I had just forgotten about it. But I guess here we go. I'm going to be doing the 5.0 intensity, or you know what, I'll just do 3, just do something simple. I can do 5.0, it's just, I don't really, or I guess I haven't played on this stage yet, so I need to see what it's like. Like, I played it during the, Spirit Board thing, but I feel like this will be a bit more accurate to how it would be represented if you were playing it in a regular match with items on and all that kind of stuff. I'm guessing that you're going to be playing doubles and things like that. Like right now it's just Duck Hunt, and that's because it's 2 characters combined in one, but I feel like you're going to be doing stuff like Mario and Luigi. It'd be cool if you could do Sonic and Tails, because there's like a Tails and Me thing that I saw a cursed image of, but yeah. That's the first match there with Duck Hunt. So next is going to be Rosalina and Luma. Ice Climbers are probably going to be after them, I'd guess. This slope will add in a few different angles to the football-shaped grenade. I believe is what Sakurai called it. Gonna go for some Kazooie hits here. Though Luma's kind of just soaking up the damage. You know, this isn't really a bad way to kill Luma. You just like doing 1% to Luma. Oh, I reflected Luma is what happened there. I thought that was going to explode, so I just wanted to be safe. Oh, she ducked during that. But dash attack? No. Oh yeah, it's because we're in this. I didn't think they would change the launch rates and things like that in this. Yep, ice climbers. Oh yeah, there's actually music that corresponds with them as well. Oh, ice is a hazard. Don't know why I didn't think ice would be a hazard here. Might as well build up some percent on them just by doing this. Can't really approach me from here, so that's pretty good strategy. Especially if I jump like this, they really can't do anything against it. With the sliding, that might change things. Like, they could just approach from above, but their eye is not going to be smart enough for that. Unless I go up above. Dead. I wonder what the final boss for this one's going to be. I'm guessing Master Hand. Yep, Link and Zelda, so now it's just doubles. Yep, you're dead. Wait, is this Waluigi? Please tell me it is. Nope, it's the moon. And I just turned into a giant banjo as well. Yeah, I need to play with items on more. It's pretty fun. I don't really do it enough. There we go. Get a roll read, and then that's pretty much the game. Oh, I did forget to mention, Banjo-Kazooie's side special, off stage, is pretty strong. Oh, I thought we would see a Mario and Luigi. As well. Like, Donkey Kong makes sense because it's rare, and Banjo's first game was like Diddy Kong Racing. Yep, that was a very bad time to do that. This should be interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get everything because I did that pretty poorly. Oh, buffered out an air dodge. Or, I didn't even, like, buffer that out, but, like, I tried to shield and then, like, jump, but whenever I let go of shield and then, like, moved up, I don't have tap jump on even. I don't know why I moved up, but it air dodged up. They actually removed buffered air dodges from the game, so that's how I know I didn't do that. Because I tried to recover with a buffered air dodge earlier today, nothing happened, and I was confused for a second. Oh, wait, you can just reflect these back. I didn't know that. That would have been so useful in World of Light. Spiritless, the first time that I played through it. guess I never tried to reflect them back. Oh yeah, I only have one use on that. Or like one set of 5 uses. I need to get Crazy Hand out of the way first. Master Hand's at least tolerable. I was wondering if that could go through that, because I knew it could go through a fully charged B-Reverse Warlock Punch, or I guess that's not something that fully charges necessarily. There we go. But yeah, I like to run off the side there at the end, like I did, and then just like jump all the way down. Because you don't actually die, you'll just keep falling infinitely. Or I think there is a bottom, but couldn't see it from there. Well, I think I missed that one. Yeah, I think I missed 2. I'm just gonna skip. I still haven't gotten a perfect on these. I've gotten, like, to where I've missed 1 or 2, but never a perfect. Villager looks very off in that picture, and so does Diddy. Got the Banjo and Kazooie Fighter Spirit, the Jinjos, Piplup. Not too shabby. Yeah, now I should have all the spirits, correct? Let me go look. I still haven't created a me using Team Rocket yet, so I'll have to do that later today. But I just want to make sure I have all the spirits now. Spirit list. I'm missing 1. Where? It's one of the heroes. I gotta go buy that. Shop. It's not in the shop. I thought they always went to the shop if you didn't have the fighter spirits. I'm guessing they're going to be on that online thing. Let me go look at that. Oh. Notice about online play. I've played online before, but a save reset my online stuff, which kind of suck. Oh wait, I don't want to play online tourney. Also known as Banjo. Or, that's pretty much just the entirety of online at the moment. It's just Banjo, I'm pretty sure. Banjo and Sans. Things that I never thought I would say. It's not here either, really? Might as well do one of these as well. I'll do one if they have Banjo. Nope. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to be ending this stream here. Oh, I just realized I won't be able to do the shared content in 4.0, or the 4.0 tier list as well. I did mention that yesterday. But I will be doing stuff related to that kind of thing soon. I have to see Banjo's ranking now in the tier list, but the previous 2 patches, I don't believe they changed characters' rankings too much, so I might even just go with my 3.1 tier list and then tell people to watch that, which tells them to watch my 3.0 tier list. Just for the characters and things like that, but I'm pretty sure that the 3.0 tier list is pretty close, or the updated 3.1.0 tier list on my YouTube is pretty close to the tier list at the moment, although with the lack of Banjo and a few characters might move around. But for now, I'm going to be calling this stream here, and I guess hope to see everyone in the next one.